Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the UpperEdge Podcast. I'm Scott Stewart, your host and your AI implementation expert. And today I'm joined by Adrian Oliver from Homegrown Roofing and Contracting. Adrian, he's up in Denver and he's built a strong reputation around quality service and customer satisfaction. Adrian, it's great to have you on, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me, Scott. It's always good to hop on these sorts of things and have good conversations, man.
Definitely, man. Yeah, I'm excited for the conversation and learn more about what you're up to. I'd really love to start and just hear your story and how you got into the business and where you're at now.
Yeah, well, I'm a Colorado native and I grew up in the industry. That's actually what makes us homegrown. My
Yeah.
dad had me on job sites from a young kid picking up trash, but I actually started swinging a hammer around 14. So yeah, I've been in Colorado a long time, pretty much been in every side of the business, starting on the ground, starting as a laborer. And that's kind of what makes us different, makes me different is I'm a journeyman roofer. So going that far back, man, roofing's definitely in my blood, but we started homegrown around 2000s because the family roofing business I grew up in wasn't around anymore. So with the roofing being in my blood, just wanted to rebuild the family legacy, and we got this one rolling, really rolling back in 2020.
That's great, man. I love that it's just a family tradition you're keeping alive and you have so much pride behind it and you're all about just doing what's best, doing things right, not necessarily like just trying to go for speed, but just go for the best quality you can and keeping that name strong. That's cool. I love that homegrown too. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. With there being so many roofing companies in Colorado, we just saw serious need to do something different. And being from the mountains, we knew there's a different type of client up there. And, a lot of people in Colorado, they just wait for a hailstorm to replace their roof, but there's not too many hailstorms up in the mountains. So being from there, that's where we like to kick it. And there's some pretty cool roofs up there most of the time too.
Yeah, I bet it's cool. It's more of an artwork, right? I mean, roofs are so complicated, right? And it is such a science behind it. But I'm in Southern California, so a lot different putting a roof on down here than it is in Denver.
Yeah, there's just not a supplier a hop and a skip away is the main thing. And then I joke with people too, and I tell them, the number one contractors in the mountains is DIY and who done it? Like, who the heck did that? So you run into some interesting situations, and the climate's a lot different too. So definitely need to prepare and plan for those sorts of things. And it's just something that we've chose to make.
That's awesome. So what is it? What's your team look like? I remember last time we talked, I think your mom was helping out with the business too. And do you
Yeah,
have
most definitely. It's a family roofing business. My mom works on the back end, just handling compliance, helps with a lot of the financial end as well, just keeping track of all that. And I'm still out in the field myself. I like to keep it pretty close to the chest. So I still sell, clients still have access to me. We really put our name on it. And then we have a production manager, one other sales guy. His name's Corey. He also works with our local Park County sheriff. And then also another guy named Mike Sprinkle. We're training up from scratch. And he's been a huge help already and he's really just taking the reins and just trying to learn everything he can. So we're super excited about that opportunity. So yeah, it's been some slow years in Colorado, pretty small team, but like you said, we don't go after the quality. We keep it, quantity, we keep it quality. And really we're trying to do unique, complex construction style roofs all day, every day, specialty roofing if we really can.
Yeah, what's the lifespan on a roof out there?
Uh, yeah, so they used
If
to
if
say
if
30
done
years.
right.
Yeah, they used to say it until they found out shingles perform differently in different markets. So now they call them limited lifetime and lifetime. And the asphalt shingles in Colorado, your standard asphalt shingle is going to last you around 15, 20 years, depending on what type of weather we have in those years. But really, you could probably get up to 25, depending on the quality of the underlayment. That's a huge factor too. A lot of people just look at the roofing system. And then I'd say a lifetime shingle about 40 years. And then we like to do metal and standing seam, for example, correctly installed standing seam can last 60 plus years. The powder coating might wear off, but if you install it right, it'll last a very long time.
Sounds like a pretty good investment.
Yeah.
But yeah, almost so good. It's like, where do they need to come back? They'll never need to come back for another roof almost though too, right? It's like a
Yeah, but
lifetime
they're paying 2 and a half
lifetime.
times as much for it is the thing
Yeah,
about
there you
it.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so, I mean, most people only get their houses roofed every, like, 2 or 3 times in their entire life, if ever. Some people, so they're just kinda taking care of it up front, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. You mentioned that the last couple years have been a little slow. Is that for all roofing contractors in that area?
Yeah, it's across the state. It's just any non-storm years in Colorado, the market's pretty saturated. It's a lot of storm damage restoration focused companies, which is a great, side to the business and everything. It's very, very profitable. But the problem is on those non-storm years, everybody's trying to stay alive, keep their companies open. So they
Yeah.
start doing whatever they can.
Yeah, right. Is there any other trades that you get involved in during that time? Are there services you offer, like current customers or past customers?
Yeah, we mostly just play it smart. We'll take on more repairs whenever it's slower,
Yeah.
just because we are a smaller company. We don't have as much of a bandwidth. And of course, like if we're totally busy with full replacements, we're just gonna let people know, like, hey, we're a smaller company and there's a lot of roofing companies in Colorado. Maybe call one of the larger ones for repairs because we're focused on replacements. So that's the main thing
Yeah.
is taking on the repairs. And then always going back to the drawing board on the company as well, just anything we can do to improve and marketing and the things that we're too busy to do whenever it's full steam
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, those are the times to take advantage of that for sure. Do you see like price wars happening during that time? People just trying to get business and just dropping their prices down?
Dropping it way down. I mean,
Really?
yeah, so that's the hard part, especially whenever you're a company that's focused on quality and not quantity. But, you do what you do in those times, and we still are fair with our customers. But we're definitely there's some people, it's like, how are they even making money on this job, or where are they getting the material, But
Yeah, yeah.
it's all part of it. It's all part of it. But we've had some recent hailstorms in Colorado, so that should settle down. And there's other fun new ways of marketing, being able to get in front of the right customers. So everything's moving in the right direction. But yeah, just 2 years in a row without a storm in Colorado, it's a little bit tougher, But we've been building this company during some tough years, and we're pretty used to it right now. That's why I would say nothing beats homegrown, you know.
Right? Yeah, that's right,
Yeah.
man. That's right. Yeah, those things come in cycles, right? Is how it is, how the business is. Some slow
Oh yeah.
years, some booming years where you got too much work, I'm sure. And yeah, it's just this is how part of the business. You talked about marketing. What kind of ways are you marketing? What do you find to be the best for your trade?
Yeah, having an online presence is definitely the most important. And Google's always changing the way that they do things. So having people that you trust to really be able to stay on top of that. And that's one other thing that I've found out too in scaling the company is just better ways of getting the company out there, having more of a presence. And it has a lot to do with the digital footprint these days. And now even
Yeah,
AI, I got clients running my bids through AI. And if you look up who's the best for geodesic domes in Colorado, you can find homegrown roofing listed first and different things like that. But there's also some fun features to where niche companies like us are actually able to get in front of the right client profile and just being able to zero in on the customer demographics that are more of a fit for our company. And that's been a huge benefit as well, I feel like. And yeah, just yeah, marketing's it seems to change so quickly, and I'm sure it's going to change even more quickly now with AI. But just staying in front of our warm market, Facebook ads, micro targeting on
yeah.
social media. Yeah,
That's cool, man. It sounds like you do a lot of the marketing because the way you're speaking, it sounds like you really know your stuff. Talking about the
yeah,
targeting, the micro
I'm
targeting, yeah.
involved.
Yeah. Do you enjoy it?
I enjoy that part of the business, like one of the most. Like marketing and sales. It's really what I enjoy the most. I also love working with
Yeah.
people, and that's why I'm still customer facing because I love all the people that I get to meet and like just the customer interactions, just seeing people's roof go from pretty beat up to, you know, looking pretty sweet by the time we're done, and just seeing their emotional reaction around that all. It's a lot of fun for me. So definitely the marketing and the sales for sure.
Yeah, and it really what you're doing is life changing, right? Because a lot of people they're stressing on their roof, especially when a storm comes in, and it's maybe something they put off for several years, and like it's in the back of their mind always, right?
Most definitely, like I said, most people only get their roof replaced, 2, 3 times in a lifetime, if that. So it's a pretty big deal, and you're working on somebody's home or business. So it's an emotionally engaging and pretty intimate situation, because you're at their house or you're taking care of their property. So it's something that we take seriously, and just being able to show up and be that expert that they were looking for and making friends with them, making them comfortable through the process. I get a lot of joy out of it, and the people that
Yeah,
work with me too. It's an experience for everybody for sure.
yeah, definitely. Hey, I want to talk a little bit more. You said you were talking about what type of roofs was it? Geocandescent,
Yeah, geodesic domes. There's
geodesic domes.
actually
Yeah,
Yeah, so there's actually a pretty good amount of them in Colorado. It's blown my mind a little bit, but I did one in like the second year of my company, and ever since then I was like, there's nobody really specializing in this, so I think I will. And they're pretty much half dome structures composed of a
yeah,
bunch of triangle facets of the roof. So a whole bunch of different roof planes and pitch changes that essentially are a dome composed of a bunch of triangles, a lot like the 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 greenhouse ones or even the tent ones that you'd
yeah,
see, but they're actual wood structures, and I just fell in love with those right away. I do see roofing as an art form. I like the
yeah,
creative aspect of it all and the lines and the symmetry and the transformation. And it's really obvious whenever you do it on geodesic domes, just because they are so cut up, and at each one of the slope changes, you're cutting the shingles at 5 inches to create those clean lines, and it really makes it come out. And most domes that we come across, they're roofed incorrectly, so
mm,
they don't look that good. They look kind of flat. It doesn't really bring out all the different faces of the roof, but when you actually roof a dome correctly, there's some sweet looking roofs. So I'll send you some pictures. There's
yeah.
a lot of them also on our website. That's probably actually the easier place to go and see a few of them.
Yeah, now that you're describing it, I've definitely have seen those. I saw them on your site, but I've definitely seen them in some of the mountain areas around here too. And did they build them that way? And obviously, architecturally, it's really cool. But do they do it that way on purpose for snow conditions too? Is it helpful for that? Was that the original purpose of it, or is it more of an
It's
architectural thing?
So they are like pretty structurally sound, just as
Yeah.
far as just like weight and just being structurally like strong, shear strength. Number
Yeah.
one. Also, two, from what I've been told, is they're energy efficient. They're pretty energy
Mm,
efficient as well. There's a whole lot of
interesting.
roof on them. I know that much. I'm definitely not the
Yeah.
dumb expert as to why people want to live in them, but they're all roof. I could tell you that much too.
Right. It's all roof, right? There's a lot
Yeah.
of square footage there. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
definitely. Last time we talked, you mentioned that you were going to build some type of training program for roofs that are in these more like rugged element type areas, because a lot of people aren't really necessarily knowledgeable about that. Tell me a little bit more about that plan, that business.
Yeah, like I said, the mountains are a pretty underserved market. It's nice for me because there's not the amount of bid wars that go on down in town, but at the same time, not every company is for everybody. And I feel like the mountains are pretty underserved. Like I said, the number one contractors up there are DIY and who done it. And a lot of the times I get clients calling into me and they're saying, it's really hard to find contractors. So that being
Yeah.
said, I plan on doing a module coaching module set, like a set of module and just different offerings around coaching people on getting started in the roofing industry, just because I started with very little and bootstrapped my business a lot of the way, and come from some pretty humble circumstances. So I know what it's like for it just to be a dream and you not to really have a whole lot of crew. Cause like I said, I
Yeah.
worked on the roof whenever I worked for my parents' company. I had no clue what it's like to run a roofing business. So it's like to reach out a hand, help out the next guy. If they wanted to learn how to start their own company and do it, I could help them do it. Like I said before, too, there's a lot of companies in Colorado that are very storm dependent. They don't have a retail focus on, and they don't have a large retail focus in their business. So they would really be able to benefit from their guys knowing how to sell even just retail roofs. It doesn't have to be in my same
Yeah.
service area. It's just selling cash deals, period, because selling retail and there's also the mountain component to it too, right? So, but selling retail, like doing cash bids, is totally different from doing storm damage restoration. And there's a
Yeah.
lot of these other companies, their guys know the insurance process. They know how to inspect for hail damage. They know how to put together a material takeoff, but troubleshooting a roof and prescribing diagnosing the problems on it and prescribing the right solutions for somebody that's paying out of pocket on their roof is a lot different than the insurance paying for
Yeah.
it. And it's obviously
Big
hail
time.
damaged, and you and the adjuster are going to agree on that are a little bit different from troubleshooting a roof and actually knowing what roofing type's going to be the best for what structure, and also too what to look for as far as problem areas, because that's actually the approach that we take to selling is the consultative approach. And it's really just being an actual roofing expert on, like, having a working punctual knowledge of how the roof works and being able to comprehensively explain it to the customer without using a whole lot of jargon. What's wrong with the roof,
Yeah.
what you can do about it, and what's going to be the best one. It's a whole lot different. So I just thought it would be beneficial with us doing things a lot different from the way that other people do. And even with the specialty roofing, a lot of guys, they just focus on shingles. They're doing shingles all day, every day. But with fire dangers increasing and,
Yeah.
the people do spend a good amount of money on their roof that do go retail, just being there as an encouragement for people to do more specialty and just kind of talk about my experiences around it. Maybe it'll help somebody get to where they want to go quicker.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's rad. Yeah. I think that, I mean, a lot of value in that. So
Yeah.
really, would it be safe to say it'd be more of like a business coaching kind of program?
Yeah, business coaching. So it could be for people that want to start from scratch. I would even make the offer if somebody wants to just find a roofing deal and bring it to me, I'll teach them how to run it,
Yeah.
and then you don't have to pay
Yeah.
anything. And it could be like a recruiting thing in that way. Or I could also train people that have existing roofing businesses with the storm damage focus, their guys on more retail, or have that on as a training source, for them to be able to get their guys to sell more cash deals. So that way they're not praying for hell for their business to do well.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I'm already kind of a couple steps ahead of them in that direction. So the more that I learn and grow, the more I'll be able to take that and translate it to other people. So that's what I'm trying to do, It's just kind of pass the baton,
Yeah.
help other people out.
I like the way you're thinking. Yeah, you're thinking bigger. You're thinking bigger. That's good. That's great. What so when you're talking about that side of the business and training modules, it starts making me think about like the tech and stuff involved in that. And that's obviously the business that I work in, AI and automation. What are you using any type of like AI or automation in your business currently to like, for tracking, outreach, customer communication, or anything like that?
Yeah, so we're gonna set up a nurturing system for missed calls, and also working with our current contact list inside of our CRM, and kind of cherry picking through those to really zero in on our ideal client profile, and just use that for also staying in front of those clients, our clients that we've had a good experience with and they've had a good experience with us, because that's something that we really haven't been leveraging, is that just that nurturing and that follow up, even on missed calls or leads. So we are going to work on doing something like that. Other than that, I've been learning AI a little bit myself. So I've been training my Claude to
Yeah.
almost be like another business partner, and training it on skills that just makes a lot of processes more efficient on the back end, and the things that I don't
Yeah.
enjoy doing so much,
Yeah.
and even enhancing some of the things that I do, like the marketing, I just
Yeah.
I can I can brainstorm it, and I can come up with a general idea, but I don't really have to sit there and format it. It can really make it come to life. So I do like it for that.
Yeah.
But there, other than that, the automations, man, I'm still trying to find one that I can really trust. That's where I still have a hard.
Yeah. Well, you're ahead of most people because you could visualize where it could help you in the business. I talked to so many people and they're like, "Yeah, I know it's great. I know there's some great possibilities, but they don't know like, where can I put it in my business." That's what a lot of times I'll help them. It's like, "Hey, here's a spot I could really relieve you a little bit or relieve your team." So yeah, it's cool that you're looking at that. You're like really diving into it. That's really cool. And the customer reactivation stuff is huge, especially, if you get the people that are really into maintenance, right? And you have a maintenance program for them, some type of like membership type deal. Great way to nurture those relationships. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's like I said, I'm still working on trusting it in some ways. There's some
Yeah,
things that I like doing manual, and I might be doing a
yeah,
manual for a minute, but it is awesome to see how technology is advanced. I grew up in the industry and my parents did the paper process, and we were printing out
yeah.
Google Maps to go and drive and do repairs and everything. So just seeing where it's come from that to where it is today is it's mind blowing. It really
It
is.
is. It really is. Really time saving. I imagine for your mom too, because I mean she's doing a lot of the admin stuff. So probably some areas that could really help her out there for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. And I wish I'm working on getting to a point to where I'm really fluid with it all to where I can really train her up on it. But it's so much to learn, and hopefully it is. I do hope to find a way to help her too and just to make her job easier. That's definitely always the goal, is to keep her working as little as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, there is so much to learn, especially when you're running a business, You only have so much time in the day, it's for sure.
Yeah.
Looking over the next like year or two, what's your big goals for the business? Do you have big goals of growth or more focus on this coaching program possibly, or
Yeah.
what's your vision?
We're still not at the point where we're doing the roofs that we want to do all day, every day. And I really want to just be that niche company that is focused on doing the steep slope construction, the complex construction style roofs, or even just metal or specialty roofs all day, every day. I really would like to be that company. And, it's been some down years, so we're still not really at that point yet. Like I said, we're still taking on repairs and doing what we can. So getting to the point where we're doing that all day, every day in the next 3 years, getting in front of more architects, getting in front of more home builders, continuing to build our local presence online and being super marketing forward with it all and just expanding the team. I don't think I'd like to have any more than like a team of 10
Yeah.
would be plenty, I think, with our subcontractors that we work with and our other teams of people that we work with. So I don't think I want to grow it too big. Want to keep it close to the chest. Want to keep it homegrown, but definitely add some technology to the business. Add people as
Yeah.
necessary, but. Like I said, I just want to be that Colorado company that's doing specialty, really beautiful,
Yeah.
creative, artistic looking roofs all day, every day in our beautiful state of Colorado.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I think it really satisfying, right? Fulfilling when you do that type of work. And that's how you have the longevity, I think, and you remain happy with the work that you're doing.
For sure.
So, hey, before we go, I was wanted to ask if there's any advice you have for somebody that's just getting in the business, getting in the trades. Like what would be a couple things that you would recommend?
Definitely figure out what's going to make you different. You don't want to get lost in the cloud. There's a lot of people with the same offer out there, and it's just a little bit different. So I'd say before you get started, just really figure out what's going to make you different and really stick to that. The vision of the company is so important. That is what keeps you going when things get hard, because they do get hard. Also, I'd say be marketing forward. Like, don't put the cart before the horse. Definitely be focusing on making sure that you have customers before you start worrying about everything that you need to do for when you do have customers,
Yeah.
And also, I would say do your research. Do your research. Really see what the numbers are, the competitive analysis, who else is in your area that's going to be important too with branding and making yourself different. And I'd also say have some fun doing it. It's a fun industry to be in. It's a hard one, but you can have fun doing it. So just enjoy the process. It definitely took a lot longer and took a lot more work than I would have first imagined. So just be prepared for that, but just be marketing forward, be different, and just do what you love.
Some great advice right there, Adrian. Great advice, man. Hey, well, I appreciate you coming on and sharing your story. It's been super cool talking with you and learning more about the business and learning about just what makes you guys different. And I definitely see it now. Definitely see it. So yeah, man, is there anything you want to say before we sign off?
I just thank you so much for having me on the podcast. It's always good to get on these sorts of things, get the word out there, get in front of some more people. So I just really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to do that. And yeah, go check out our new website. It's pretty sweet. You'll be able to see the roofs that I'm talking about. And yeah, give Homegrown Roofing a shout.
At Homegrown Roofing right there. Adrian, right on. Thanks again, brother. I appreciate you coming on. Everybody, thanks for tuning to the Upper Edge. See you next time.